This is a Steam Greenlight trailer for Backwards Running Dog. You see, the dog is running backwards. It's one of those games, if you haven't worked it out. One of those, I guess the genre would be LOL random. I guess that's the genre. It's an alleged platform game featuring randomly generated levels, and yeah. It doesn't use Unity stock assets. This one actually just takes photographs that were probably just sort of got on Google image search and kind of thrown together, which is not something we cover often, but is quite common, especially on you know, free websites where you could get all these sorts of games rather than Steam. I think here in the trailer, rather than do any sort of editing, the developer is trying to show off that the levels are randomly generated, and is thus just killing the dog constantly to show that. Again, I mean, you could just edit that. I mean, even Windows Movie Maker could do that. I also like the mouse cursor that's just there in the middle of the screen. But there we are. They made it. Look, hooray! A different level. There, see? What they could have done is cut all of the stuff where, you know, they were just killing the dog to load these extra levels and just shown this, but I'm not the expert in making trailers, so what do I know? Oh yeah, that's My Heart Will Go On. It's very funny. Don't get me wrong, it's a very funny game. Is that it? Yeah, okay, yeah, that's the trailer ended. So let's have a look at what this developer's got to say for itself. This is a game I made in about 5 hours out of sheer boredom. The product is an absolute abomination, but I think the gameplay is fucking hilarious. Granted, I have a terrible sense of humour, but I was laughing out loud a lot over the development. So, again, like a lot of these games that we're seeing these days, it's someone who I guess can't make a game and has turned that into a thing. Which, you know, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that if there is a strong satirical backbone, if there's a strong humorous backbone. But I'm not kind of seeing that here. But anyway, look, basically it's a randomly generated platform in which you play as a dog that is facing the wrong direction and can only move backwards. I mean, the wackiness of this is off the charts. Nearly all of the power-ups do nothing except give you an article of clothing. There are a bunch of different level skins that are chosen from at random when you start a game. To gain points, you collect meats. Meats can also be acquired by causing fatal harm to the enemies you'll encounter with your gun. You'll be given a gun 6 seconds after you... there's a demo if you want to play it. There's a link. Of course, what with the risk of malware being on Greenlight now, I personally don't recommend anyone ever click any links on a Greenlight game description, but that's just me. Anyway, thank you to everybody who recommended this one to me. A lot of people sent this one in. I think the question a game developer should ask themselves is this, if the entire joke of the game could be summed up with just a Photoshop picture, you know, it probably doesn't need to be a full game, if you see what I'm saying. I mean, Backwards Running Dog, you could just show a screenshot of that and say, haha, wouldn't that be a ridiculous idea if that was a game? To actually then go ahead and make the game is to run with the ball into a big river of poo. But again, that's just me. There's no accounting for taste. Backwards dog runner running backwards. Dog backwards running. Dog random funny. Dog. Tea Party Simulator. Grass rocks. Horror games. Unity 3D. Stock assets. It's a rage game. You'll be so furious because you can't complete this one. Enter a dark world where you're armed only with a torch and monsters come in every corner. Scary. Scariest game ever. Please like and subscribe. Zombies. It's a roguelike. Crafting elements, a survival-based zombie game with retro-inspired voxel graphics, 16-bit. When's my copy of Witcher 3 coming in?